You know, if there's one thing we enjoy here at American Slacker, it's going to live events. Wouldn't you say, Jess?
Yeah, from you going to festivals, I like to go and see comedy. There's tons of stuff to choose from.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Who doesn't like a nice night out? And, who doesn't like to save a couple bucks on a night out? I mean, it's expensive to go out these days. Wouldn't it be nice if you could save a couple bucks, Jess?
I'm a cheap bastard and you know it.
Me too, man. What if I told you you could save a small percentage on your tickets by just entering a code?
What code would that be?
Man, all you got to do, go to SeatGiant.com, enter the code SLACKER at checkout, and you're going to save quite a few bucks, actually. Not a small discount. It's a good amount. It's a decent amount.
So you're telling me I could go to my pickle hating fest for a small fraction of the cost of what it would normally be?
Dude, I'm telling you, you're probably going to get a drink on us if you enter the code SLACKER at checkout at SeatGiant.com.
Drink not guaranteed.
Rolling.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to American Slacker Podcast with Matthew Gertz and Jesse Landers.
You'll see here the human male boasts the size of his testicles. I drive great when I'm blind. It's all about the sauce. Good, get him out of here. Get him out of here. Oh man, speaking of fucking, you want popcorn? I'll give you a popcorn kit. I'm just trying to go to Colorado and smoke some weed. Watch your fucking tots, huh? Those are my biscuits. Now, this is all alleged.
Well, welcome to American Slacker Podcast. As always, I'm Matt.
And I am Jesse. And today we are joined by podcaster and entrepreneur Shawn Walchef.
What's up, guys?
Not too much. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate it.
Oh, it's my pleasure, man. And love what you guys are doing with your show. It's always admirable to see people that are grinding it out in the podcasting game for as long as you guys have.
Oh,
Yeah. And you're deep in it as well.
Yeah.
We got to say, we appreciate your grind as well, man. It's just the whole branding in general is just gorgeous. I mean, it's an amazing rap you guys have done.
Thank you. Yeah. We're gluttons for punishment. We like doing things that are off the beaten path, and it's allowed us to be unique and do the things that we've been able to do. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, and of
I like-
course,
I like the merch too.
oh yeah, gotta love that. And of course, we got to say, owner of Cali Comfort, one of the most unique barbecue restaurants there are, and very fucking detailed and very into the grind.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I own Cali Comfort Barbecue, and we opened in 2008. Took over an existing breakfast restaurant and wanted to turn it into a sports bar. So we really weren't even doing barbecue when we opened. But now, 11 years later, we're the loudest barbecue restaurant on the internet. Is how we like. Everyone likes to compare themselves. Oh, they're the best barbecue. Best is bullshit. It's all about the conversation. It's all about the storytelling. And for us, the louder that we can be and the more places that we can be doing podcasts, doing events, being on social, interacting with people that love fire all over the world. That's been the coolest journey for us.
Yeah.
And you're involved a lot in the barbecue, barbecue tournaments? Is that the correct word? I'm probably not using the right terminology, but that sounds badass.
I haven't heard barbecue tournament, but I like that. Yeah, no, it's the professional barbecue world. So there's a whole subculture of professional barbecue cooks that compete. Kansas City Barbecue Society is kind of like the NFL of barbecue contests, and we competed and won a few of those when we first started out, but now we've gotten to the point where we organize an annual one here at the Del Mar races every summer. So at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, they have about 20,000 people coming out to the Del Mar races, and then we have a championship barbecue event where there's 50 professional cooks that are competing for $15,000 in prizes. We do cooking demos, and the races are going on through the whole thing. So it's probably about 3,000 people, all you can eat event. And we've been doing that. This will be our fourth year organizing that.
That's sounds like a fun fucking day right there.
It's a fun day. A lot of fucking moving parts for sure.
Yeah.
Now, what came first, the chef part or the competition? I'm just
That's
curious.
a good question. Well, first of all, I'm not a chef. I'm actually, the fact that I go on and talk about barbecue as much as I do and not touching the meat like most of the, barbecue personalities out there. Really the things that I do best is putting people together that are able to do great things. I've spent time cooking the barbecue. I've spent time in the kitchen setting up our operating procedures and I bus tables, waited tables, manage the restaurant, you name it, I've done it. But what I do best is, really getting in and finding out, hey, this is an opportunity for us to go into cooking craft barbecue.
Yeah.
I say craft barbecue because we're slow smoking our meats. And for us, cooking craft barbecue is the hard way to do it, but it's also the right way to do it, so that you can get the best flavor. And finding someone, I had to find an expert in the field, and Gene Goycochea was our expert. I reached out to some people, and he was the only one that called me back. He helped us organize our first amateur barbecue contest, which we organized right in front of our restaurant. So our restaurant's about 10 miles east of San Diego, so it's kind of off the beaten path. There's liquor stores, churches, houses, commercial, residential, industrial, you name it. But we're in an area of San Diego where there's a lot of people, but not a lot of corporate restaurants or restaurants of any kind that are outside of taco shops. So for us, our competitive advantage was really, opening in 2008, trying to take advantage of how do we get people into this fucking place? And whether that was on Facebook, whether that was on Yelp, Instagram, Twitter, now podcasting, then doing a, amateur barbecue event, now a professional barbecue event. We really just wanted to be part of the conversation, and sports entertainment is also something that we're passionate about. Chargers season ticket holders, we go to the Padres games. We sell barbecue now at one of the arenas in San Diego where our professional hockey team, which is it's not NHL, but it's American Hockey League. Our San Diego Gulls, they play there. Our professional lacrosse team plays there, but we have a small booth where we sell barbecue out of. So, taking advantage of the internet's opened up a lot of different doors for us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But specifically with Facebook, have you seen a lot of return from advertising there? Because it seems
absolutely.
Okay. It seems like a lot of people go for that these days, but I'm surprised it works so well, being that it seems like the platform isn't as popular as it once was.
Yeah, it's so I graduated high school in 2000, which I consider myself a Y2K baby, kind of like a fringe millennial. So I remember when there was no internet, so to speak. I mean, there was internet when I was growing up in high school, and yes, we were supposed to be on the computers, but when I went to college was when Napster was blowing up. Yep. So the evolution of where we came. I mean, 2007 is when the first iPhone came out. And that was about the time we were getting ready to open up the restaurant. At that point, I thought Facebook was a joke. I thought it was a place that you just go to pick up chicks. I made fun of my business partner at the time, Corey Robinson, him and I went to Boulder together. He grew up in his family business, but I was giving him shit. I was like, "Why are you on Facebook, man?" He's like, "Are you just trying to find out what your old high school girlfriend is doing?" And once I started learning more about it, and once we started struggling getting people into the restaurant, I was like, fuck, you can open up a business page for Facebook? Well, maybe we can get people to know about who we are and what we do because of it. And to think, from 2008 to now, 2019, what you can do with Facebook ads, geo-targeting directly within, 5 miles of the restaurant for people that like barbecue, or they like sports, or they like bars, or they're looking for a family friendly restaurant. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's like super direct, like sniper fucking accuracy advertising.
Yeah, I mean, it's digital marketing at its best, because you have the analytics to back it up. And we've done every fucking kind of advertising there is. I mean, when we opened in 2008, it made sense for us to put in ad in the yellow pages. And I don't know if most people don't know what the fuck the Yellow Pages are, but it's a book. It's like a business directory. It was a Google before there was Google, you know, and you would have to be in the Yellow Pages, you know, if you wanted people to find your restaurant. And I mean, that's laughable.
Well, I always remember in the Yellow Pages seeing all the like A1 towing or AAA towing just to make sure they got to the top of the listing.
Correct. Absolutely. I mean,
we're not that young.
Yeah, you're not that young, but how old are you guys?
I'm turning 30 this month.
Yeah.
Oh fuck, you're young as hell.
Nah, man, we're right behind you.
Well, we were in school. Actually, we would have graduated when the restaurant was opening in 2007.
Okay.
So
okay, that's fair.
But we didn't have the internet for like most of our schooling, I guess. You know,
it wasn't that
5
bad.
to 6 years of it.
Elementary school is when it like started coming into play. I mean, 95 is when AOL started popping up into households.
We were still using computers for Microsoft Paint when I was in elementary school. We weren't online.
Really?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I have a son and he's going to be 2, but he'll borrow my phone, you know, when we're out at dinner, and he'll be watching YouTube, and I'll get a Twitter notification on my phone, but he already knows how to swipe away. Like, he doesn't want to he's like, I don't want my fucking content interrupted. He can't speak, but he can swipe away.
That's amazing.
Wow.
So it's crazy. Yeah.
They're going to have a lot of new skills.
Yeah. No, that's for sure.
Evolution right before our eyes, man.
Different time for sure. So you said that Cali Comfort is a sports like centric spot. I know from listening to your show that you like to show Chargers. That you're big on the Chargers, and then
you could say that.
You could say.
I would say that'd be an understatement, probably. And then I heard on one point during an episode you had mentioned something about issues with the UFC and how they sued you or something along those lines.
What?
So
I didn't catch this one.
Yeah, the UFC. That's actually impressive that you caught that. But yeah, the UFC didn't sue us. It was the licensing company for the UFC. So there's
or whatever.
It's actually Johan Promotions. So Johan Promotions is one of there's a couple different entities that own the rights to distribute UFC and boxing content to commercial establishments. And when we were you know, just starting out, we were trying anything we fucking could to get people into the restaurant. And fight night's something that's really important to us. You know, growing up watching Tyson and going to my buddy's house, I'd go to Brian's house, and we'd have, you know, all of our friends, we'd all be there. But it was a fucking event. It was whether you knew anything about boxing or not. I mean, Tyson walks out in a cut towel out to DMX. You know, it's like, holy shit, what's happening here? And this is modern day gladiators. And there's something special about fight night, you know.
Oh man, yeah, I'm big fight fans here, and yeah, man, I grew up in a house with the same thing, man. I grew up, you know, I was like 5 to like 7 when Tyson was like in his prime, coming out of prison and all that shit. And man, I just grew up with, like, my parents had like events like that, you know, the Tyson fight would be on to get the pay-per-view, the whole event, friends over, and man, there's just something about it. It's just
But I'm surprised that I never thought that they actually went after places for showing stuff like that.
I've heard of this before with like random restaurants, but this is crazy. So how did this even come about?
So we didn't pay the commercial viewing. So as a restaurant, you pay based off of your square footage and your seating capacity. So no matter if we're located, you know, in an industrial area in San Diego, we're going to pay the same amount of money as if we were on the Strip in Las Vegas. So, you know, typically we're paying anywhere from $1,500 to, the Pacquiao Mayweather fight, we got up to close to $8,000 to show that fight.
Man.
And part of the contract is that you're paying, you know, to the licensing entity to make sure that you have the commercial capacity to show the event. But as part of that contract, that's why bars will charge a cover, because they're actually required to charge a cover to make it. So when people are showing it illegally, which is what we did, we, you know, thought we were smart and we could hack our way into, you know, putting a residential feed into the commercial establishment. They found out that we had shown the fight and didn't pay the $1,800 for the fight. And, you know, we ultimately got sued and had to settle that multiple lawsuits for a couple different fights. Yeah.
I'm really surprised. I mean, you hear it happening, so I guess I shouldn't be. But
yeah,
it's the grid of capitalism. I mean, they don't want you getting away with $90 per fucking, what, 100 people to see the goddamn fight, and you're not, charging that cover charge. It's a pain in the ass, man.
Well, it sounds like the system's a little bit off in
yeah.
terms of like where it's being shown and how much it should be, like, it should be per head or something like that.
Well, per head, it's just, we're living in the most exciting time to be in business. I mean, 2019, all these sports properties, they're all looking at streaming services. Many of the leagues are preventing their growth because they're so focused on TV, and they don't care about making sure that, well, who gives a shit if they're watching on TV? Like the Masters, for example, I just watched pretty much 90% of any of the content I watched from the Masters golf tournament. I watched on my phone or on my desktop, because they do a great job giving you access. They don't give a shit. They know that the digital content, that they can actually make money off of that, and they don't have to worry about the whatever they've sold for the TV rights.
Mm-hmm. It's all about being able to monetize it, and I feel like we have we have Netflix right now, which has become like a big core for like movies and TV and stuff like that. What is going to be the big sports thing? I'm surprised ESPN hasn't really stepped up and like conglomerated everything into one for like a monthly payment or something like that.
It's fucking crazy. I mean, it's crazy, but it's exciting. It's exciting because the internet allows you guys to have a podcast and distribute it without a fucking radio station. It's like, we have our number one sports radio station, the Mighty 1090, literally closed their doors last week. Wow. They've been relying on paying a licensing fee to a tower in Mexico, which is a powerful transmitting tower that transmits all the way up to Santa Barbara, 50,000 watt tower. But they have a broken business model. I mean, they're relying on old media metrics on how to sell radio, thinking that, hey, as I'm going to go to Shawn at Cali Comfort and sell him a 15-second commercial, when I don't want the commercial. I want the radio personality that's talking to actually come out to the restaurant and do a live show, because I know that because he's there, it's impossible for him not to talk about our food or talk about our service or where he is, because it's real, it's organic. It's a really fucking interesting time, and that's why it's exciting. I mean, it's exciting because we can have these conversations, and you guys can build a show based off of what you want, not based off of what the fuck somebody tells you. This is what you need to do, or this is what you can or you can't do.
It's opened up to a lot of freedom and a lot of fucking tomfoolery on our part, for sure.
Yeah, it's doing a number on a lot of things, man. The film industry and the music industry as well. It's cutting out the middlemen that are being all grimy, taking all the money, the rights, just being plain old dicks. And I kind of like that too, I gotta say.
Well, not only being dicks, but I mean, it just those people. You have to own your own content and your own distribution, and the more that you learn about it, the more. I'm not a fucking expert on it. We didn't know a goddamn thing about podcasting until we started our first podcast. And what did? We talked to other podcasters. We went to a podcast movement conference and, in Anaheim, we read shit. We listened to shit. And
oh shit.
We
you guys were there?
We went there too.
Yeah. Did you
really?
No
we were
way.
there as well.
Yeah, we were
Get
there.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah, that's so funny.
There's the badge right there.
Look at that. Holy shit. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's hilarious, man.
That was a fucking great conference, man.
That was an amazing time. Yeah, we met a lot of
really
great people. Can't talk about it enough, honestly. But just, man, amazing what you do, man.
I appreciate that.
I've been balls deep into your podcast, checking you out all over social media. What's going on with the show, man? I gotta know.
Well, the show will go on. It's going to be just me moving it forward. I mean, I don't know if Derek's going to do his own podcast.
Okay.
Okay.
Getting to the 100 episodes was important for me and for our listeners. I mean, we fucking started the podcast to talk about the shit that happens in business that people don't talk about. So it would have been very disingenuous if we didn't tell people, hey, we thought that we were going to be in business together to open up Derek's second butcher shop. We found out throughout that process that we don't work well like that. Everything we've done together has been me driving and him riding shotgun. This is him. He has to drive. It's his brand. And I have to ride shotgun, and turns out I'm a shitty passenger. and he drives much differently than I do.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Different speeds, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you cool with talking about any of that's on the show? Like, is there anything you don't want to talk about on the show? I mean, we want to.
Absolutely. I don't give a shit. That's the whole reason I love podcasting is it's not radio, it's not TV, it's not it's new media, not old media.
Yeah. It seems like bands are the only ones that don't want to air all their shit. Anyone else doesn't care.
Oh my God, yeah.
Whenever there's a musician, we're like, is there anything we should avoid? And they're like, well, like I left my last band and like I don't want to bring that up. And like it's like, yeah, but that's like years of your work, man. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if they're fucking terrified of some NDA they signed with a bad legal decision or whatever it might be, but
all their fangirls, I guess, from the last fucking band.
Yeah.
On their social media or something.
Yeah. Where are you guys located?
I'm up in San Jose.
Okay.
I'm in Albany, New York.
And you guys have been doing this 140? How many episodes are you at?
155. Right?
Is it 50? I thought we were
147. My bad. I keep doing that.
47.
Yeah.
How the fuck did you guys find each other?
Oh, we grew up together.
We grew up together.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he moved out there. I want to move out there eventually.
Yeah, I'm from New York originally. So
yeah.
Okay.
And in the woods.
In the woods.
What are you waiting for?
Well, I got a new girlfriend and shit. That's another. Yeah. I know. Don't wait.
Is she the one?
She could be.
Well, then fucking tell her you're moving to San Jose.
Oh no, she wants to. She wants to, but she's a teacher, and it's gonna take.
Yeah. It's all bullshit. Just fucking do it.
I like that. That's
fucking
the kind of push I need.
Yeah. Well, I'm a good pusher.
Man, I could tell, man, that you got to be in the restaurant industry. I've worked in the restaurant industry. He has as well. It's cutthroat industry.
You have to be a glutton for punishment, and you got to like to do things the hardest fucking way possible.
Hardest.
Obviously, that's why we are in the restaurant business. That's why we do events, and that's why that wasn't enough, and we had to start podcasting.
Yeah.
On top of all of it, so
because you didn't have a full enough plate, as
correct.
Do you do your own like editing for the show and stuff?
Well, we don't edit really anything. We pretty much fucking press record, but we'll post publish, and I have 2 producers. So Corey Wagner's he started it with us. He was our original producer, but
I heard you thank him in the
so him and Brian were the 2 producers, and for us, the more that we've put into the podcast, the more that we've gotten out of it.
Nice.
And it's not an ROI thing. It's more of a big picture, long-term opportunity thing.
Yeah, it seems like you guys are becoming a staple of the like San Diego community, essentially. Like you're getting articles written about you by the newspaper and stuff.
On the news all the time.
That's the funniest part is like, we joke about it. It's like we got written up. Our restaurant was in the New York Times before it was in the fucking San Diego Union Tribune, which is, it's only because of the stuff that we're doing with podcasting and, just thinking differently and doing things differently with the internet. Otherwise we wouldn't be in business, 11 years later.
Yeah. A lot of restaurants don't make it even that.
No, fuck no. No, fuck no. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta be stubborn as fuck.
Yep. Adaptation to the times, man, is critical. I think, that's one of the biggest things is like a bad social media presence, like in general, will sway you away from a place, like
Jesus
like,
Christ.
What is the kitchen going to look like if they don't even have anything dressy, like, photos, like if they don't have an Instagram, even, shit like that today is like,
it's huge.
Yeah.
It's fucking huge. Yeah.
And you see so much turnover, especially in like smaller towns. It seems like in cities, there's more of an appreciation for like going out and like there's the income for that. But hey, me and Matt came from like a small town in upstate New York, and you'd see restaurant. There's like the core ones that would always be there. That's like the place you go for Sunday brunch, everyone goes to. But then like every other place would just turn in and out, in and out of the same spots.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is it's an easy business for people to fantasize about and think, oh, I'm going to follow my dream and open up a restaurant, but they don't realize that it's not a place. If you want to make money, definitely don't open a fucking restaurant.
Yeah.
Do something else.
Hey, this is Jake and Adam from the Hopper. That's right. Cutting a promo, but we fucking hate promos.
Promos are tough. What do? We got to promote ourselves, but
It's not really our fucking forte.
No, it's not. We fucking hate them. They're a pain in my ass. They're a pain in your ass. So you know what? We're getting through this together. If you hate dumb shit as much as we do, give the Harper Guys a listen.
That's right.
You can find us at
iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, Podbean,
Facebook, Instagram, theharperguys.com.
Twitter, at the Harper Guys.
Or shoot it.
What? Mama?
That's what we do all the time. Shoot us an email at theharperguys@gmail.com.
That's right.
Can't wait to hear from you soon.
Let's do this.
Hip hip.
Cheerio.
Now, I do want to ask, with the Chargers, lifelong fan?
Yeah, lifelong fan. I mean, I probably really fell in love with them probably in middle school. When we made our Super Bowl run in '94, and then we got smoked by the 49ers. But yeah, it's something that I've, been a passionate Chargers fan. And, we've incorporated the things that I love about sports into our business, because why the fuck not? No one was going to tell us that we couldn't do that.
Right.
We're a sports entertainment restaurant, and, we care about San Diego sports. The Chargers were a San Diego team until they moved to Los Angeles, and that created a lot of angst in our community. A lot of people that felt that if you had to be loyal to the soil, which
nobody's going through that right now. I mean,
correct. Yeah. And, it's something that the NFL's a, billion-dollar business. They are going to do whatever they're going to do. We couldn't get a stadium built here in San Diego. We can't get a fucking playground built. We're as beautiful and incredible as a community as we are. We just don't like to think big and do anything for sports or entertainment or the arts, because people just, half of the people want it and half the people don't.
And I've never been to San Diego myself, but from what I understand, a lot of it, the area is taken up by like ports, and it's like a big military area, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. San Diego. I mean, it's a very eclectic, part of Southern California. We're bordered by Mexico. The other border is Camp Pendleton. Camp Pendleton's really the separator between us and Orange County and Los Angeles. But, in San Diego, we have this kind of inferiority complex with Los Angeles, where we think, as a sports fan, you're taught to hate the Dodgers. We fucking hate the Dodgers. We hate LA, but LA doesn't give a shit about us. They don't even give a shit about themselves.
They hate San Francisco.
Well, yeah. I mean, they honestly, they love themselves, and they hate like whatever else. It doesn't matter. Like you have to be relevant in LA. You've got to make them care about you. And the only way to do that is by winning. And last season, the Chargers actually started winning, and people started to care in LA, but they also started to get very angry in San Diego because, having grown up and having the team's been here for, 56 years, watching them do something that they never did when they were in San Diego is very frustrating for people. So, we were hosting watch parties at the restaurant, like we always have since we opened in 2008. And those parties kept growing and growing. And I was posting, me and Corey, who runs our social, we were both posting on Twitter, all this standing room only fucking incredible run the Chargers had last season. And we got a lot of people on Twitter starting to attack us, saying, fuck you, close your doors, move your restaurant to Los Angeles. You love the Chargers. Like, you need to be, up with Dean Spanos, and, you should be ashamed of yourself for not being loyal to San Diego. And, everyone's entitled. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's totally fine with us. It was,
but it's a fucked opinion.
Yeah, it's a fucked opinion, which is fine. But it's just the ironic part is that, they're on Twitter or on Facebook or on Instagram, whatever online, but they made a call to action to go to Yelp and to write fake reviews about the restaurant. And Yelp's something we take a lot of pride in our Yelp account, and we have 4.5 stars, and we're close to 2,000 reviews, which is fucking, I'm still so proud of my team for having that now, because you've got to care. And not everyone's going to fucking love our barbecue. A lot of people hate our barbecue because they don't think it's the way that, they grew up in Texas eating barbecue. Our barbecue is a Kansas City style barbecue. Sometimes people, sometimes we have people that run our business, sometimes we fail, and all we can do is respond to the reviews and say, hey, sorry we gave you a shitty experience. Would you, hopefully give us another chance. We're going to work on those things, and we try our best to address them and move on. But, once they've made that call to action to go and start writing these fake reviews where they're putting pictures of like a toilet that's not our toilet with shit and vomit all over the floors, talking about, I mean, just taking it a step too far.
Now, does Yelp, like, what's the process, I guess, once someone does that with your business? Do they let you dispute it and like possibly disband that account? I mean, I guess they could always kind of go and make another account and
Yelp does a really good job for business owners. Like, you don't have to pay anything and you can claim your page. So you claim your page and you can add photos. You can add your operating hours. You can put out information, about your business. And then when someone writes a review that you think is a fake review or hate speech, you can flag it, and then they'll internally audit it to see if it's, actually somebody that, have they written 50 reviews, then it might be a little bit more legitimate. But if they just created an account, they don't have a profile, this is the first review they wrote, chances that it stays on Yelp are, slim to none.
It's still like a little bit of whack-a-mole though.
It is. It's whack-a-mole, but it's more, we care about digitally touching our customers in a way that most businesses just don't give a shit. I mean, if somebody writes us a message on Facebook asking us, hey, are you guys showing the Canelo fight tonight? They know we're a fight night bar. Tonight, we're not showing it. We don't think the demand is enough for us to pay the amount that we're going to have to pay. Yeah. So we're not, but I'm not going to let that question go unanswered. I'm going to make sure that we respond and say, unfortunately, we're not showing the Canelo fight. Hey, it's showing at this other bar. Go check them out. Check back.
We do have a special on tri-tip.
Exactly.
Hit them with the upsell.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so appreciated, I think, from the consumer's aspect. I mean, when you're going to be authentic about that, and here's a place that's, showing the fight, that's good. I mean, that's fucking awesome, man. You're not just saying, oh, you should still come over for the tri-tip. You're saying, here's the spot that you can go catch what you're looking for. I
mean, I appreciate that. We're diehard sports fans at heart. And, I studied in Spain for a semester of college in Alicante, which is just an incredible part of Spain. But we had a group of Americans that were all studying, the guys that I hung out with, diehard sports fans. But I mean, the Super Bowl was being played at 4 a.m. So we literally had to go to a Spanish owner, a bar owner, place where we drank all the time. We're like, dude, is it possible if we can run some satellite and get the fucking bar open? He opened the bar for us to watch the Super Bowl. And like, that was very much appreciated and something I'll remember forever. And if somebody comes for soccer, if they come for fucking NASCAR, if they come for cricket, I don't give a shit. Like, we built the place so that people can enjoy sports and we can get the game on and we can create that environment for them, so they can enjoy whatever the fuck they love to enjoy.
Nice. That's all you can ask for as a customer. It's like that full experience.
It's crazy because you talk about, we like to create the internet oh shit moments, because that's probably one of the things that we love about the podcast is that, we live in a day and age where those walls, if you want to have a great brand, if you want to, build something that's sustainable, that people are engaged in, you have to be responsive. And, whether that's a positive response, negative response, either way, when somebody sends a message to us, through Google Maps, and we actually respond back to them, you're looking for the menu, here's a link to the menu, not just letting it go to nowhere. Then maybe they'll appreciate that, because most of the other fucking places, they won't do that. I mean, I go into Home Depot and there's people on the floor with the vest on that are supposed to help me find a specific light bulb that I want to find. And they just tell me that, it's 7 aisles over. So they send me over there and I'm there looking like a fucking idiot because I can't find the light bulb. If that person just took the 15 seconds to walk me and show me where the light bulb is, I would get the fuck out and buy it. And not be so upset with Home Depot. Instead of
walking out of there without it. I literally had a similar experience in a Home Depot as well. I asked them if they had shovels, and they told me to not have shovels.
Get the fuck out of here.
And I found the shovels. I found the shovels myself, and I bought a shovel, and I was just like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like,
yeah,
you don't know what you have. Like, I know the place
guy with a shovel and been like, "This wasn't here. You said it wasn't here."
I couldn't find the guy. I was looking for him. Believe me, I was gonna be like, huh?
Oh,
Fucking look what I got.
God.
It's fucking crazy.
Not everyone's gonna be the greatest employee in the world, but come
Yeah.
on, know your inventory.
Another thing I got to compliment you on, man, is clear, just transparency. You're trying to show people how success works and showing them the things that didn't work for you, whether it's the podcast, you have like grilling tips on YouTube. I mean, there's a lot of shit you're trying to help people out with, everything from daily life to being successful in the business world. You've talked to a lot of people. I mean, you even had the fucking guy that is behind Uggs, I believe, right?
Yeah. That's
crazy.
That's part of the internet oh shit moments is you just, until you go down the journey of something that you want to do or something that you're passionate about doing, like you don't know where those opportunities can lead. And we were able to interview Brian Smith, the founder of UGG, who wrote a book about the birth of a brand. And, he created a fucking $1 billion global brand. I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, Pamela Anderson wearing his Uggs. You fucking Tom Brady wearing his Uggs. I mean, it was a cultural revolution with these. But if you hear about the story of his struggle in the very beginning, you realize that resonates, with all small business owners, with all people that are trying to do something. It's the fear of, well, I want to do this, but what happens when I fail? What happens if I start a podcast and no one listens? Like, who cares? You got to fucking do it. What's worse is living with regret, knowing like, oh, I've always wanted to do this and I never did it.
Right.
If you want to live in fucking California, you moved your ass to California.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Man.
Matt, I think talking to you.
Yeah.
Getting there. After we get off the show, at least I'm not going to start the process right now. While we're on. I mean,
this fucking
he's packing up, guys.
Yeah, this fucking barbecue guy has kept telling me about moving to California.
Well, you're definitely a motivated individual. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and overcoming that make it or break it moment is critical. Enduring it, I should say, like a ship in the storm. Just knowing how to weather yourself through that fucking critical, stressful moment in your life. Taking the risk, whatever it is that's relevant to your life. I mean, shit, man, just power through. And I mean, you've shown it through your fucking success, man. If you're dedicated, you can actually do shit.
Even
I
if
appreciate
UFC's coming at you.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, yeah. That's the reason we started the Behind the Smoke podcast, was to talk about the shit that, when I went to college, I thought that I was going to be a business major. I thought I was going to go to law school. I got rejected by there's only 3 law schools in San Diego, and I wanted to stay in San Diego. I was sure I did shitty on the first time I did the LSATs, did shitty on the second time, but I still applied, and I got rejected by all 3 of them. And I was like, I thought that, I was like, well, what the fuck am I going to do? And the things that I'm doing now are all the things that I want to do, and it's not about the money that I'm making. I have another kid on the way. I'm just looking into daycare. It's fucking expensive as hell. I'm like, what's going on? But ultimately I get to do the things that I fucking love to do. And I love to tailgate, and we've incorporated tailgating into our barbecue business. We love to do events, and we're able to put on an amateur barbecue contest with 7,000 attendees in the fall, and we're able to raise money for local youth sports. We're doing a professional barbecue contest at the Del Mar Thoroughbred Club, and all this shit, none of it would have happened if we weren't jumping off the cliff and trying, because a lot of that shit was fucking lawsuits, getting sued by the UFC. I mean, we got sued by 3 men for hosting ladies' night. That was a thing, like, hosting a ladies' night. Yeah, because they didn't get a discount on the martini that we were giving to women. So we had an ADA lawsuit. And, no one told me that when I went to college and I was taking business classes. I didn't hear anything about that.
Yeah.
We're learning statistics and a bunch of other bullshit. Yeah. So
outrage.
What was the turnout on that one?
That one we settled. Yeah, we had to settle the lawsuit. Unfortunately,
wow.
It's
Jesus.
And it's like, but at that point, you can either fight on principle and spend all this time, money, and resources, trying to find a Pyrrhic victory and figuring out that not only did you lose the war, you lost all the troops. And for us, we always want to focus on positive. We want to focus on things that are going to move the needle forward, that are going to move us forward, and hopefully get people to be more aware of, that there is great craft barbecue on the West Coast.
Definitely.
Which is something that's important for us.
Do you like craft beer?
Do you like an unending wealth of puns?
What about 4-hour lectures on the ethics of cryptocurrency usage in third world nations?
No!
Oh, right.
But do you still want craft beer reviews and comedy, right?
Then listen to Hop Nation USA, a craft beer podcast.
Available on iTunes, Podbean, Google Music Play, and Stitcher.
Are you shitting me?
No, I'm not. Just listen to the podcast. Hop Nation USA.
Where all fine podcasts are sold.
Now, you had mentioned kind of offhand before, like different regions and how people kind of are specific over what style of barbecue that they're into. How would you like define California style barbecue?
Transplant barbecue.
Okay.
So people in California.
Hey, that's me, I'm a transplant. California.
Correct. So yeah, I mean, what we do best in California and San Diego is we take from all the other cultures and traditions and experiences and kind of make them uniquely ours. Tri-tip is something that's very specific to Santa Maria, California, and we do tri-tip. We take tri-tip very seriously, but we have incredible Texas barbecue. Andy Harris owns Grand Ole Barbecue y Asado, and he cooks incredible Central Texas style barbecue. We have all different kinds of pit masters here in San Diego that are doing cool stuff based off of traditions that they know or they love, or that they've traveled and figured out that's something that they want to do and make uniquely theirs.
The art of it is insane, man. I mean, because we're like below amateur, but I gotta say, at parties, even as teenagers, me and Jesse would be at like parties manning the grill. It wouldn't even be our house. We'd be at the grill, like manning it. Like, those fucking burgers.
Always gravitating towards it, at least.
It's like a primal urge to be by the grill, but you like the art of it that I've learned from your podcast alone is just so deep, like from region to region. And it's crazy. It seems Kansas like the birthplace of like true like competition and everything in the US?
It's one of those things. There's, the true barbecue authority. I mean, we're members of Kansas City Barbecue Society. We're members of National Barbecue and Grilling Association. And, what everyone loves in headlines is figuring out what's best or what's first. And what we've found is that the more that we have a conversation with people like Mike Mills and Amy Mills, who own 17th Street Barbecue in Illinois, that have this little, small town, but have been able to win professional barbecue contests, been able to become, barbecue legends, writing, incredible books. Mike Mills is in the Barbecue Hall of Fame. He's served Bill Clinton ribs on Air Force One.
Oh, wow.
To be able to have those conversations has been the greatest thing about the podcast, because people in the barbecue community, I mean, we call it barbecue family, but they're so willing to share, which is kind of an antithesis to what you'd think competition is. If you go to a barbecue contest, it's like, well, fuck that guy. He's trying to win my money.
Right.
Well, it does have that element, but if you're there and you're new, or if you're, on the scene for a while, and let's say you forgot an easy up, they're more than willing to fucking share their easy up, or they're willing to, share something that's going to help you because you forgot, something that you might need. And, that's the way that, they kind of all lift each other up.
It's something to do with the origin of humans, I swear, man. Food brings us together, and like the further evolution of this shit, like, the deepening of like the art of this, like I'm saying, like there's something about it, man. It just brings, it's community like style, like,
it's fire, it's tailgating. I mean, that's the thing that we love about tailgating as diehard Charger fans, as we are. I'm fortunate to be elected to the Pro Football Ultimate Fan Association for being a Charger fan in 2017. So there's 5 Charger fans that are in this Pro Football's Ultimate Fan Association. There's 32 NFL teams, but when the Denver Broncos fans come to Qualcomm, we're going to welcome them to our tailgate. And that's, it's kind of when I went to Green Bay, the Chargers were playing in Green Bay, and that was Brett Favre's last season. I went there with my cousin, and we both had Charger jerseys on. And, going to any visiting stadium, you expect to get, people talking shit and, oh, we're going to kick your ass.
Yeah.
Every fucking fan in Green Bay at Lambeau Field that were tailgating, they just wanted us to come over and eat a bratwurst or have a beer or just talk about football. and that was their hospitality. And that was something that, it forever made an impact on me, because I was like, this is incredible. Like, this is why we love sports is, it doesn't matter who the fuck wins the game. Like, we all, like, yes, we want to win. We want to win the Super Bowl. San Diego's never won shit. But we still have the hope that next season might be the one. That might be our magical season.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I like that alternative, man. Growing up in New York, we got the Yankees and the Red Sox rivalry. That's fucking bloody.
Yeah.
So it's like, man, I like that alternative, where everybody's like, yeah, let's just fucking have some beers and fucking brats and chill, talk about
well, when you get over the accents and you get over what jersey they're wearing, you understand that, like, dude, these people are they were born in a different house than I was.
Yeah.
It's like my son's, he has Charger shit. My daughter will have Charger gear, and whether they choose to be as fanatical as I am, that's their choice. But they'll have a connection because they know how much football means to me. I mean, I took my wife now on our second date. I took her to a Chargers tailgate, and she was like, she's like, "What time do you want to pick me up?" I said 8:45, not 8:46, 8:45. And you need to fucking be ready to go. And she was ready to go, and we went, and just like, what time does the game start? The game starts at 1. What the fuck are we doing at 8:45? Well, we're setting up to tailgate.
Setting up.
Yep.
And that's 4 hours of camping in a parking lot with people, from all different walks of life, that the only reason that we're all know each other and are friends and watched our kids grow up is because of the fucking Chargers and because of tailgating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Now, how much do you think the tailgating culture in San Diego is contributed to by the amazing fucking weather that you guys have?
It's definitely helps. That's no doubt about that.
Because tailgating in New York in January, or like December or November.
Yes, this is true.
It's true. You see the guy in body paint,
no jacket,
in like fucking 0 degree weather.
Bright ass red, but he's good with it.
That's true. But I mean, that's the coolest thing is, every year for Pro Football Ultimate Fan Association, we go to Canton, which is where the Pro Football Hall of Fame is. And that's where we have a reunion. And that's where they elect the new class that's going to be coming in for each of the respective teams. And we go and we learn about Buffalo fans, and we learn what they do at, what their traditions are in that weather. We learn what, they do in Pittsburgh. And those are the things, like, when you break it down, we fucking all do the same thing. Mm-hmm. It's different. They might be eating brats in Green Bay, and we might be cooking carne asada in San Diego, but ultimately we're all getting together to have a great fucking time and share memories. And some of the times I have a lot of different friends. The only times I see is when I see them at a tailgate or see them invite them to a game together.
And with how much the players move around and stuff, everyone's like on everyone's team anyway.
Yeah.
It seems, after a few years, like I became an Eagles fan because Donovan McNabb played for Syracuse and he went to be the quarterback for the Eagles. That was a while ago, and he hasn't been the quarterback for the Eagles in a long time, but I'm still an Eagles fan. And now he's gone on to play for multiple other teams. And you see that cycle in and out, and you have those really good seasons, like when the Eagles brought home the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But and then you have your bad seasons where you weather it through if you're actually a true fan.
That's it's the coolest thing for me about sports. It's about music. Whatever you're passionate about, like, do it. Fucking do it. Don't just think about it, because that's some of the best friends I have that one concert, Angels and Airwaves is coming up and they're coming back to San Diego. Well, the last time I went was fucking 5 years ago with one of my close friends that I don't see because he's very successful. I have a family. He does his thing. It's like, hey, we're going to go to that concert together. It's the same way with sports.
Nice.
I have friends that they said, fuck the Chargers after they left, but I'm a persistent asshole. And I tell them, come to a fucking game with me in Carson. That you have to come because it's in a soccer stadium. You'll never experience the NFL like it. And so they come, and now we're on a group text, 3 guys that we went to Boulder together and we went to high school together, but like really we hadn't communicated until we went to that fucking game together. And now we talk shit about whatever's happening in people's lives, and it's a great way to stay connected.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. It's important to find that common ground, that thing that can keep people, to keep the relationship going and throughout life. Cause I mean, everybody gets fucking busy. The older you get, the more life becomes detailed. You've got kids. We don't understand that yet, but God damn, like there's always something that's going to pull you away and make it like, fuck, I don't know. I'll text him, next week, I'll text him, next week. It happens and it happens. And then before you know, it's fucking 10 years before you talk to like one of the closest people you've ever been, known in your life.
Yep.
So it's like, it's amazing to find that kind of thing. Sports is a common one, but no matter what it is, make the time with people through something like that is fucking really important.
I think it's important, just by just doing the podcast, we've been able to interview people that, I'm close friends with that, but I didn't know the stories that they told me until we had that conversation on the podcast. So until we sat down, uninterrupted, without phones, without, people from the restaurant, walking in to ask me questions, like we had an uninterrupted conversation and I was able to learn things, Shane Walton, who played for Notre Dame, he was a walk-on. He played in the NFL and now he's doing incredible work for charity in San Diego. But he shared what you were talking about is, one of his mentors at Notre Dame that actually his soccer coach that convinced him, hey, you should try out for the football team. And he was their best player. But he said, hey, you need to go try out for the soccer team. And he did that and became an All-American, player that intercepted Drew Brees, took him back for a touchdown, was able to play in the NFL. But that coach, he was walking on campus and he was like, on his way back from a class and was like, oh, I should go say what's up to my coach. Just to check in on him. And then he's like, I'll do that. I'll do it tomorrow. And he walked, the coach passed away. And he's like, from that moment, wow. He will always,
holy shit.
If he's compelled to call someone or text someone, if he thinks about someone, like he'll always do it because of, how much that coach meant to him and that he knew that he wanted to do it, but he didn't do it. And, life happens fast, man. And, I think about that a lot too, because it's so easy to say, yeah, I don't have time for that, or I don't want to do that. And you never know when one call can, change someone's life or be the last time that you talk to them.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's very true.
Opportunities in other ways too, man. Wow. Jesus.
Let's try and end this on a positive note. What is there anything else that you would like people to know about the state of barbecue in our country?
Well, I think that's the coolest thing about barbecue is that we have podcasts, we have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have Twitter. So no matter what the fuck you're doing, you can learn more about it. I mean, the access to information is incredible, and there's incredible people that are transparent, that are full of personality. Malcolm Reed has How to Cook Barbecue Right, a YouTube show. And he breaks down all of it. And he's fucking hilarious and he's amazing. We went to the National Barbecue Association and we talked about turning your business into a media company, which is essentially what we've done the last 2 years, and why people that own businesses or that care about something should be podcasting. And now Malcolm Reed has a podcast. And he, contributes us helping push him off the cliff to do that. And so no matter where you are, not just in the United States, but in the world, like if you love fucking barbecue, like research about it, but also document what you're doing, because you might be doing something different that someone else could learn from. And, the community, whatever subculture, whatever you give a shit about now in life, not only can you learn from people, but you can also become somebody that talks about it. I mean, you guys have an incredible fucking podcast. I've listened to, a bunch of your different interviews that are all wide ranging, and I give you a lot of credit for having the fucking balls to, ask a barbecue guy to come on your show. We didn't talk about pot.
Oh yeah. Well, that's important.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even touch on
creating a different kind of smoke today.
Yeah, it's behind the smoke, but we don't talk about pot.
And yeah, that's one of the things I picked up on your show too, man. Is like, it's not just about barbecue. So people, even if you're not into barbecue, I mean, you should still check out his show. Cause I mean, there's so many things going on. You're common.
You have a business.
And just the aspect he's transparent with his life, you get to learn who you are, which is a very, it's such, you talked about it with the gentleman, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, that has a radio background.
Oh yeah. Steve Woods.
Yeah. People like that depth. That was a great interview.
Thank you.
Man. And
thank you.
Yeah, it just, that transparency is important. On top of, you'd have tons of different guests, you know, coming from all different, you know, aspects of life. And I mean, it's just, that's what makes podcasting great too, I guess, you know, that whole complete wrap, you know, as long as it's done right.
That I mean, it goes back to what we're talking about. You can choose to do whatever the fuck you want in this world, and you can learn from people that inspire you and people that are actually saying things that doesn't feel cookie cutter, doesn't feel corporate, doesn't feel like a stock photo. Like, this is our real fucking photos of our food. Why? Because fuck stocked photos, you know, like that's not, you know, you see it all the time, and we're drawn to things that are speaking our language, right? I mean, speaking our language, doing the things that we love to do. And it's not just the successes. There's a lot of fucking failure along the way. And, you know, you got to share that failure, because that's how people draw inspiration to move to California.
Oh yeah, he's not gonna let it go. He's not gonna let it go, man. I'm gonna come out there soon. I'm coming out in August anyway, but I'm gonna have to come by anyway. I can't wait to fucking go to the restaurant. Never been to the San Diego area.
Yeah, that's
you guys got to come. You got to come to Del Mar and do some podcasting from the Turf and Surf Barbecue Championship.
Oh, that would be
August 18th. So make it happen.
That's actually right around when I'm coming out there.
You got VIP all access to whoever the fuck you want to talk to.
Oh shit. Oh shit! Yeah. Get hot here.
Now we're really tempted. If
that goes for all your listeners too.
Oh shit! Okay. Oh, we got a lot of barbecue connoisseurs in our fucking pool too. So definitely be digging this.
Definitely.
Boom.
Man, how do people get at Cali Comfort Barbecue? How do they check it out? How do they fucking find the juiciest, best barbecue that ever was?
If you're in San Diego, please Google Cali Comfort Barbecue. I mean, we're on every fucking social platform. I'm on Twitter at Shawn P. Walchef. But Cali Comfort Barbecue is the restaurant. We are active as fuck on every platform possible. If there's a platform we should be on that we're not on, tell me, because we'll do it. I don't give a shit. But BehindTheSmokeMedia.com is where you can find all our podcast content. And if you have any questions about any of it, we're more than responsive. We feel like that's our duty. If we're sharing the information, we wouldn't even be a barbecue restaurant if Gene wasn't so willing to fucking teach us all his secrets. So.
Oh yeah.
Well, you're a touch of humanity in a very digital world.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we like to be a breath of fresh air, so to speak.
Well, we appreciate you coming on, man, and we wish you nothing but the fucking utmost.
So we'll see you in August, right? In Del Mar.
We'll try.
I don't like to break promises, so we'll say that we'll see.
We'll talk about this behind the scenes, man.
I'll keep tweeting at you.
But we wish you nothing but fucking success, man, and we'll have to do this again. And thank you so much.
All right, appreciate you guys. Absolutely.
Until next time, people. That's it.
There you go.
We're smoking America. We passing America. Yeah. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We're second America.
This has been American Slacker Podcast. You can reach the show by searching American Slacker on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Reddit. Or send them an email to americanslackerpodcast@gmail.com. You can download and rate American Slacker on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and all other podcast platforms. Visit the show's website, aspodcast.com, where you will find every episode, official merchandise, and links to their Patreon if you would like to support American Slacker.
Give me a minute. Think about the second set of passing. Man, I gotta go and get it, grab it. Why you gotta go and act savage? Smoking weed, I gotta feed the habit. Now I'm on some other shit. Things that I gotta go get. Medical all on my slip. You falling like dominoes, bitch. Stuck in my ways, fucking high days, fucking sideways in the driveway. We smoking America. We passing America. Yeah. I'm mapping America. I'm second America. We talking America. We blazing America. This is fucking America. We second America. We second America.